and welcome to the best podcast you don't listen to. We got a podcast, and it's called Three Idiots, One Podcast, and we're trying to make a name for ourselves out here in the wild west of YouTube and Twitch, even though we don't upload to Twitch. Today, I have a very good friend of mine. We serve together. Tommy, how are you doing today, Tommy?
It's just peachy, man.
Just peachy. I'm Alex. That's Tommy. Alex, Tommy, Alex. Today I'm wanted to pose a question to Tommy. I was listening to Philip DeFranco's podcast, and they started talking about food, and it made me start thinking about, you got your sweet and sour, spicy chicken and whatnot, right, Tommy? You following me?
Yes.
So the question is, Tommy, sweet or savory?
Define savory.
What do you think Google defines savory as?
I don't know, dude. That's why I asked.
What is the definition of savory?
There are two words spelled like savory. Savory means a food belonging to the category that is salty or spicy rather than sweet.
Oh,
There you go.
I see.
So it'd be like ribs or like spicy chicken tacos versus like cake and like ice cream and like milkshakes and whatnot.
Huh. Well, this
What was
is
that? I heard a doot 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 doot.
Oh, yeah.
Doot doot.
Someone's honking. I don't know. So I'm gonna say sweet, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Wait, okay, because I disagree wholeheartedly. Go ahead.
Oh, conflicts, eh?
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man.
Well, you just told me you were gonna tell me why.
Yeah, I don't have a reason. I
No,
don't
you
know.
go for it, Tommy. You thought about something. You thought about it and you chose.
No,
sweet.
I honestly didn't. I honestly have nothing to go on here.
Well, get something to go on.
I don't know, dude.
Well, what if you could only eat savory food for the rest of your life or sweet food for the rest of your life? Choose.
I go savory, and I'm gonna tell you why.
This time you better actually tell me why.
I mean, in terms of health, savory foods in general are just gonna sustain you a lot better.
Yeah, I
don't
would
know.
agree. Not much to go on with sweet. Like, you could just only eat, like, fruit, but then again, like, what happened to your protein and all your carbohydrates
Yeah.
and whatnot?
Exactly.
So, does bread fall into the category of sweet or savory?
I suppose it depends on the kind of bread.
Yeah, I guess so. Because you have, like, sweet rolls, like, I would definitely say that falls into the category of, what's it called? Sweet, because it's a sweet roll. But then you have, like, sourdough bread. Like, that's not necessarily salty or spicy, but that's not sweet either. And then you have, like, breads that have, like, different, like spices and peppers on them and stuff like that, and that would definitely be considered savory. So, I don't know. But I know this. The reason I would choose savory almost every single day is because if I were to sit down right now and have a donut, like, the donut may be initially better, like, you bite into, like, something sweet, and it's like, oh, man, this is really good, right, Tommy?
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, once you're done with it, you do not have the same fulfillment as you do, like, if I were to eat, like, a rack of ribs or something like that. Like, you don't feel that great, or at least in my experience, I don't necessarily feel that great after I have a big bowl of ice cream. But if I have, like, a chicken salad or something like that, or like an omelet or like a full meal or anything like that, I feel a lot better afterwards.
I feel you.
And I think also, yeah, that's basically it, actually. Yeah, the further you get into the meal, like ribs or an omelet or chicken salad or tacos or burritos, those maintain, well, in my experience, eating sweet foods the experience degrades after a certain amount of eating has occurred.
I see.
Yeah. I like how I was like, we should record something for 10 minutes. I have a great idea. Sweet or savory?
Yeah. Is that all you had?
That was all I had. That popped up in my mind. I'm like, go! Go.
What was that?
That was me dropping my smart water onto this this desk. Yes. I'd like to transition to a new topic, Tommy.
Great.
This topic is climate change. No, I'm kidding. Me and you both saw the same movie last night, if I can remember correctly.
Yeah.
We saw the movie Black Dynamite. So I wanted your thoughts on Black Dynamite.
Well, it had a great premise. I enjoyed the setting very much, but you see, the acting is just not on par with my expectations, you know? And, you know, the title Black Dynamite really just does not bode well with me. And, you know, I find the overall thematic tone of the film to be lackluster at best.
Subpar,
And,
would you say?
Yes, and I'd give it a solid 8.9 out of 13 stars.
Okay, well...
So there you go.
I think my thoughts on Black Dynamite are in the same vein as you, Tommy. Entering the movie, the lead actor, Bruce Willis, he really pulled his weight. Going into that movie, I wasn't sure about Bruce Willis. After Live Free or Die Hard, I wasn't really sure that acting was not that great. He'll never, in my mind, really match Die Hard 1. I think, actually, Jai Courtney ruined that movie for me. Maybe not as much as Bruce Willis. But going back to Black Dynamite, I thought he did a great job. This movie is kind of... It's like a hidden jewel of the 80s. Not that many people know about it. And while the overall thematic experience and premise, it didn't really make me feel. Bruce Willis made me laugh occasionally, and just the wacky, raunchy nature of the film, it worked in some regards when Bruce Willis had as much screen time as I really wanted him to. So yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Want to talk about the movie we actually saw now?
Yeah, okay. Aliens! We watched Aliens. Not my first time watching Aliens, not your first time watching Aliens either.
Nope.
But, it's never necessarily a bad time watching Aliens.
I enjoy it.
I did too. I think there's so many 80s tropes that I pointed out during the movie that was a little bit annoying. And, like, it's always going to be stuck in the time just because of the clothes and everything they're wearing. But I liked it. I think, did you bring up this point, or did Eric bring up the point that because there's so many of them, they're not as, like, great of a threat?
Oh, the aliens themselves?
Yeah.
That was Eric who said that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily agree with that.
Oh,
I think at first you think, well, I don't know. But, like...
No, go ahead.
I think the whole point is, like, well, you see, you took down one alien and that was, like, a huge deal and, like, a lot of people died. But now there's hundreds or thousands or whatever, but we have submarines with, like, machine guns and stuff. We should be able to do it just fine, right? But then they all get slaughtered, most of them anyways, pretty fast, and I think that's, like, meant to show that even if, I mean, like, they're still threatening because they can kill, you know, soldiers.
Well, how well were the people trained in Aliens 1, like, to like in combat? Were they trained at all?
I don't think so.
I guess I think. Okay, I agree with you at the beginning of the movie. Like, just because, even though there's like a multiple aliens, it doesn't really ruin the movie for me because those soldiers are getting wrecked by the aliens. Like, so it kind of shows like. Just because they're trained, now that there's more of the aliens, it's still just as big as a threat as it was before. But at the same time, at the very end of the movie, when she finds the queen, and she's just mowing them down, like every time one pops up, she just does a little burst shot and then they're dead. Like, that kind of kills it for me. And I think maybe they did that to show, like, look, these aliens aren't even near as big a threat as, like, the queen xenomorph or whatever. But it's still... It throws me off. It's like, wait, so all these soldiers died and they had all these, like, scanners to, like, find out, like, oh, the aliens are here, here, and here. Yet, like, when she's just running, like, recklessly through the hallways, like, she's just mowing them down, like, without even, like, difficulty.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I guess it's mainly meant to be more of a sci-fi action movie this time around instead of a horror like the first one.
Like a sci-fi thriller.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that reminds me. I think next time we record, a great idea would be we should play Alien Isolation.
Do any of us own it?
No, but it's like a $10 game
$10, you said?
on Steam. Are you in the middle of something, or can you give me a real price count right now?
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right. While you're doing that, I'll give my final thoughts on the movie and my score out of 10. Because apparently I need to have a score out of 10. I liked it. I think a lot of it holds up. A lot of the practical effects, like the aliens, hold up. But those scenes when they use the miniatures, oh man. It's just because, I mean, you can't really blame them. They didn't even have green screens. What they had was, okay, you know what we'll do? We'll take a little miniature and we'll put it in front of, like, a projector. So, they don't even, it's not even, like, a green screen of, like, a video behind them. Like, they're literally projecting the clouds behind the little miniature spaceship as it's flying around. So, like, there's only so much you can do with that.
Yeah, I mean, it was the 80s.
'Twas the 80s.
So Alien Isolation is not $10, it's $40.
Oh my god.
I don't know what gave you the idea it was only $10.
Also, I feel like that would, because it's not a multiplayer game, as far as I know, that would be
It's
a good
not.
game for us to do our in-person episode.
Yeah, so if one of us gets it.
That would be yeah. Or one of us one of us would get it, or we could all
Alex.
be like, if we all put in $10, it'd work, Tommy, even though that only adds up to
Yeah.
30.
Yeah, I suppose that would also be a possibility, but...
I have no affiliation with G2A, but I'm going to tell you how much it costs on there right now. It's called Aliens Isolation? Why don't you give your final thoughts on figuring this out?
On... what?
Why don't you give your final thoughts on the movie?
On the movie?
Yeah, while I'm figuring this out.
I saw it before. I saw it again. I enjoyed it. And the practical, or all the miniatures and the really, really obvious special effects doesn't really bother me. I still think it's a great film.
Yeah, I know.
And,
It's just a little distracting. It doesn't, like, ruin the movie for me. Just a little distracting. So on G2A, you can get a Steam key for $10.
Cool.
So I think that's where I got that number, because I always see that game being advertised on G2A. But yeah, I think that's it for us today. This was really short, but you know what? The people need a new episode every Monday, or I'm going to get tons of angry tweets.
Yeah, right.
I want to thank you for joining me, Tommy. Where can they find you?
Where can you find me?
Yeah, where can they find you on the internet?
On the internet? Here. And nowhere else, because I don't have a presence on the internet, man.
Hey, one day, Tommy.
I'm not going to give out any information.
One day you'll have a
I'm
giant...
not crazy. I hope. That would be pretty sweet, I guess.
Yeah, if you like this, share it with your friends. Yeah, go check out our other videos on this channel. If you prefer to listen to this stuff, like, in your car while you're doing commutes and whatnot, or you're, like, walking around and you just want to hear the audio and you don't want YouTube wasting all your data, then check us out on SoundCloud and iTunes. And if you end up on SoundCloud or iTunes, and give us a review on iTunes. That would be cool, because the more reviews that we get on iTunes, the higher we go up on the list when you search for something. So that would be quite nice. Subscribe if you want to on YouTube. I know that's been like so many plugs, but hey, now that we're in the business,
Yeah.
as they say. Alright, thanks for listening. Goodbye. Before you go, watch this Winston play the game. It's pretty cool. While I have your attention, please click that subscribe button. Currently we have no subscribers, so we could really use some subscribers. Actually, we have 2 past Alex. Yeah, like this video, watch another one if you want. Channel 3 Idiots 1 Podcast. Thanks for listening.